6:15, everybody. This morning there are certainly concerns about a price spike at the supermarket. And that's because Russia just suspended a deal to allow Ukraine to safely export grain.
Washington, D.C. correspondent Hannah Brandt explains what impact that could have on the global food chain. Good morning, Hannah.
Kala, Dan, good morning. Ukraine is known as the breadbasket of the world, and this grain export deal was credited with bringing down global food prices. Now, though, that trend could be reversed.
This is a reckless decision that will have profound human consequences.
During a visit to Ukraine, USAID Chief Samantha Power slammed Russia's decision to end the wartime grain export agreement. Since it was made last summer, the deal has allowed Ukraine to export more than 32 million metric tons of food. But now,
prices went up today. Corn, soybean, and wheat all shot up today as a result of this decision. So we're seeing the impact right now.
a Kremlin spokesman said they're suspending the deal until their demands are met on Russian food and fertilizer exports. Though Secretary of State Antony Blinken suggests this is just another Russian war tactic.
Weaponizing food, using it as a tool, as a weapon in its war against Ukraine.
U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Linda Thomas-Greenfield, says this will especially hurt developing nations and could push more people into poverty.
While Russia plays political games, real people will suffer.
National Security Coordinator John Kirby says the U.S. is looking at how to help.
We'll continue to work with allies and partners to find new ways to get grain out.
Though he says the move will certainly have an impact.
There's no possible way, just mathematically, we're going to get as much grain out now as we were going to be able to get out through the grain deal if it had been extended.
An international military alliance that the U.S. is part of is planning to meet today, and the Pentagon says they will certainly be discussing this issue. Dan, Kala, back to you.
All right, Hannah, thank you. We'll see how all of that plays out. 6:17, and more political fallout to talk about for embattled Congressman George Santos. The New York lawmaker now expected to face a censure vote. The measure from
An international military alliance.
Mathematically, we're going to get as much grain out now as we were going to be able to get out through the grain deal if it had been extended.
An international military alliance that the U.S. is part of is planning to meet today, and the Pentagon says they will certainly be discussing this issue. Dan, Kala, back to you.
All right, Hannah, thank you. We'll see how all of that plays out. 6:17, and more political